WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A three-car pileup lands one in an ambulance in East Columbus earlier this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jory Talley. It happened at the intersection of Lawrence Drive and Alabama Street. Witnesses say one car was at a complete standstill at the stop sign, and a second car was trying to turn on Lawrence Drive, and the third car was making its way down Alabama Street when they all collided. Columbus police are investigating the crash. There was also a multiple car wreck in Tupelo. It was a two-car wreck at the Crosstown intersection, and it closed part of the street this afternoon. The wreck happened around 2:30 and involved two vehicles, as I just stated. We do not have any information about those injuries, but one of the cars came to a rest on the train tracks. Eastbound traffic was rerouted for more than an hour as police investigated the cause of the crash, and the cars were moved from the intersection. That cause of the wreck is still under investigation. Well, in national news, Bill Cosby faces sentencing this week for drugging and sexually assaulting a woman in his home back in 2004. Jerica Duncan covered the trial and will be in the courtroom when Cosby is sentenced. Here's the very latest.
81-year-old Bill Cosby is set to return to the Montgomery County Courthouse in Norristown, Pennsylvania tomorrow.
Mr. Cosby, do you have any reaction?
The man once known as America's Dad was convicted in April of drugging and molesting Andrea Constand at his Philadelphia home in 2004. Constand is a former Temple University administrator. Cosby's sentencing hearing is expected to last 2 days, with Constand likely to give a victim impact statement. Judge Stephen O'Neill could sentence Cosby to as many as 10 years in prison for each of the 3 counts he was convicted, but Cosby's lawyers are expected to plead to keep the entertainer at home because of his age and health problems. Cosby's criminal case began nearly 3 years ago at the end of 2015. The county's district attorney's office reopened the sexual assault case against Cosby just days before the statute of limitations ran out. Prosecutors charged Cosby with aggravated indecent assault for drugging and sexually assaulting Constand. At the first trial in June of 2017, dozens of Cosby's alleged victims from across the country attended in support of Constand. But after more than 50 hours of deliberations, the first jury could not reach a verdict, resulting in a mistrial. But nearly 1 year later, the second trial ended with a conviction. Over the last several years, more than 60 women have accused Bill Cosby of sexual misconduct, but Cosby insists he is innocent of all allegations. Jerica Duncan, CBS News, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
In other news, over in Alabama, investigators in Selma say an officer was shot twice in the chest with a rifle during an ambush while on patrol earlier this morning. The chief said 4 suspects followed the officer before opening fire. The officer sped away from the scene after being shot and crashed a vehicle nearby. He was airlifted to a hospital for treatment and at last check was in stable condition. Selma's mayor is pushing for police vests to be rifle graded after learning the injured officer was wearing a vest at the time. The officer is a 10-year veteran of the Selma Police Department. His name was not released. Several Selma officers have been shot at over the past few weeks, but no one had been struck until this incident. Well, it's now time to get a first look at our weather with meteorologist Jacob. Jacob, how's it going outside?
Hey Jory, it is a little wet tonight out there, but right now we are sitting in the middle to upper 70s across much of the area. I was talking about a couple of showers we have out there. Most of that is located across the central and western portions of our area. Right now, heaviest of that rain out near Attala County, but as we take a look back into the eastern Atlantic, we do have Tropical Storm Kirk that has formed here over the past couple of days. Right now, winds are sitting at 40 miles an hour, and it's racing off to the west, right around 23 miles an hour. And as we go throughout the next 5 days, Kirk is going to make its way over towards the Lesser Antilles Islands. It's going to stay as a tropical storm, though. Not expecting any United States landfall out of this storm yet, but I'll let you know when that rain is going to finally move out coming up later in the show. Jory?
Well, hopefully that fall weather will be moving in since it's the second day of fall. And with that being said, the smell of pumpkins is in the air. Victoria Bailey has the very latest on the pumpkin spice crave.
Fall is here, and that means it's time for businesses all over the area to start breaking out the fall decorations like pumpkins.
It's fantastic. We get them in, we go through, we get like Pam, we get a rag, we spray them, we actually get them as shiny as possible, you know, make sure that they just glisten, pop off the shelf quite literally, you know, and then we just arrange them in a decor that is suitable for fall fashion.
And, of course, the pumpkin spice.
They make pumpkin spice anything, donuts, candles, I mean anything that you can imagine. Pumpkin spice has become a fad, a trend right now that is just unstoppable.
Sunflower grocery store assistant manager John Kemp says once people get past Labor Day, it's all fall from there.
We're starting to get in a lot of our vegetables and, you know, green beans, and people usually buy a lot of them. But yeah, we're starting to get ready on some of that, and then here in the next couple weeks we've got you know, pie shells and all your dessert stuff, and then pumpkins are coming next week as well.
Nikki and Lucy work at Coffee on 5th on the Columbus Air Force Base, and they say they can't wait for fall, and neither can their customers.
I wore orange today because I felt kind of fall-like. And we were in there looking at the pumpkins, so yeah, I like fall.
We have pumpkin spice lattes and we have pumpkin spice ice cream too. It's popular already.
Kemp says the store will be ready to help everyone with the start of fall.
We're going to have plenty of fall stuff for everybody, and we're going to be getting the pumpkins in soon, and we just look forward to seeing everybody.
So believe it or not, here's a cool fact. Although many people flock to pumpkin-flavored coffee, Forbes reports it's the third best-selling pumpkin product. Pumpkin pie filling takes the #1 slot, making over $100 million in sales each year. Hundreds of people packed Tupelo's Lyric Theater Saturday evening for a night full of music spanning the career of Elvis Presley. Cody Slaughter is one of the top Elvis tribute artists in the world. He headlined the benefit for the Tupelo Elvis Presley Fan Club. The Harrison, Arkansas native won the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist competition back in 2011 in Tupelo and went on to win the event at Graceland that same year. He has also been working on a project of original music as he tours the world paying tribute to Elvis Presley.
I've got a good friend of mine, his name is Brad Mitchell, and me and him write songs together. We tour, we just produced a show, and we created a band called The Backups, and it's a pretty unique band because we just back it up. There's no lead vocal. It's more of a gimmick, you know. It's funny. So yeah, you know, I'm always working on things, and we're getting some stuff copyrighted, and we'll just see where the road takes us.
Talk about Elvis's twin right there. For more information about Slaughter's appearances and music, head on over to our website at WCBI.com. The 12th annual Celebration of Cultures was held at the Tupelo Furniture Market today. The celebration featured 6 different cultures, including Haiti, the Bahamas, Mexico, Puerto Rico, the USA, and Japan. Event-goers saw various artifacts and experienced different foods and dances from each culture. Organizers for the event say they want to unite and bring together different cultures from all over Tupelo.
We are called the All-American City for a reason, and I believe this is the reason why, because a lot of people, they come here from all different cultures, and it's just a good way to unite and fellowship and see all the other cultures that we have here, not just America.
Jones also says she hopes people from the event take away a new respect and love for one another. Well, coming up after the break, kids are sometimes picky when it comes to their food. We'll have pointers for those picky eaters coming up after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Jory Talley.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, sometimes kids frown upon trying new food, but here's some helpful tips in this week's Mom to Mom.
Do you struggle with your kids trying new foods? Well, I've got the solution today. Today we're talking about tasting trays. My kids are the pickiest eaters, as you all know, and I've told you all, but they are not willing to try new things. When it comes down to dinner time and I put something new on their plate, it throws them off completely. So today I'm going to introduce something I'm going to try in my home, and that's a tasting tray. You use a simple, plain ice cube tray, and you just fill it up with different types of foods. Fruits, vegetables, dairy, breads, anything that you want your kids to try, you just put it in here. Today I've got some strawberries, grapes, melon, Cheerios, raisin bread, yogurt raisins, pretzels, goldfish, and now comes the hard part, getting your kids to eat the vegetables. So I've got carrots and peas. Another great thing about these is you can use them as a lunchtime meal, or you can use them as a snack if you've got nibblers like I do and they kind of munch all day. Anything you want your kids to try, you just put it in this ice cube tray and let them try little by little. And by the time 2 weeks rolls around, hopefully they're used to trying new things and they don't get so intimidated when you put something new on their plate. So I'd love to hear some of your all's ideas on how you have tried getting your kids to try new foods. So find me on the Mom to Mom Facebook page. I'll see y'all next week.
Mom to Mom is brought to you by Preferred Pediatrics, seeing children and youth of all ages at physicians and surgeons across from Gilmore Hospital in Amory.
Well, those showers and storms we've seen today are going to stick around through your Monday and pretty much the rest of the week. Those highs will drop down to the middle 80s, and I'll let you know when that rain could move out coming up after the break.
Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley.
Well, good Sunday night. It has been a pretty wet Sunday across much of northeast Mississippi and Tupelo earlier. We had those several rounds of showers and storms move through there, and the rain's still falling across northern portions of our area. Right now, though, the heaviest of it looks to be here in Kosciuszko and Atala County, moving on into Louisville right now. Then we have those showers and storms up north as well here, moving into Union County near New Albany. You're getting a pretty good downpour right now, and that will continue as we go throughout the rest of our overnight hours. Now, all of this rain is associated with this stationary front that's over the northern portion of our area, but as we move later into this week, we are going to be watching another frontal system that's going to be moving its way from the Great Plains here all the way back down into our area. That could bring us a little bit cooler temperatures towards the end of your work week. But for tonight, the showers and storms are going to stick around. We will bottom out around 71 degrees, those winds kicking out of the east-southeast at around 3 to 6 miles an hour. But for the rest of your night, the showers and storms are being picked up on futurecasts. They will fade away somewhat tonight. However, we will keep those showers and storms around tonight on into Monday morning. Then as we go throughout your Monday, going into the afternoon hours, you really begin to see those showers and storms pop, especially across northwestern portions of the area. But as we move later on through the day into the afternoon hours, we will see those showers and storms progress further east, bringing pretty much all the area a pretty good shot at rain throughout the day on Monday. Now, rainfall totals are showing those heavier amounts where that rain is picking up more on radar of the northwestern portions of the area, but all of us could see could see up to half an inch to even some higher amounts there over northwestern portions of northern Mississippi. Now, as we kind of time this frontal system out for you going on until that next one moves in on Tuesday, we will have several rounds of heavy rain move through our area. Then once that cold front does begin to move in on Wednesday and Thursday, we will see those high temperatures begin to dip just a little bit. But for your Monday, we will stay warm across much of the area. Those highs are going to top out in the middle 80s, 86 degrees there in Carthage, 85 degrees in Louisville, 84 in Winona for your daytime highs on Mondays. We will keep that rain chance around 50%, so a good chunk of the area has a chance of seeing that rain across western Alabama as well. Now, as we look at your 7-day forecast, you'll notice those rain chances do begin to taper off as we move into the weekend. But before they do, we will have some cooler air move in for Thursday, a daytime high of around 82, and those overnight lows are going to drop down into the upper 60s, so it is going to be feeling a little bit more like fall, but don't hold on that for too long because the temperatures are expected to warm up into the beginning of next work week.
Well, it's a rivalry almost as old as time itself. The New Orleans Saints visiting the Falcons today. Those highlights coming up next in sports. Stick with us.
For WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
It's a division rivalry over 50 years old. The New Orleans Saints facing off in Atlanta against the Falcons earlier this afternoon for an early season matchup. We'll get right to the game. Drew Brees warming up here. Brees with 14 completions today. He'll set an all-time NFL high for completions later, but Brees fakes the pitch and dumps it off to Ted Ginn, and he's going to break a tackle for the 4-yard touchdown. Saints get up early, 7-0. Now Matt Ryan, he's going to find Calvin Ridley ready for him in the end zone. It's going to be an 18-yard TD, and that dance, man, I'd be excited too. Don't blame him. Falcons tied at 7. Now Brees to Michael Thomas for the 17-yard gain. That would be Brees' 6,001st career completion, the all-time NFL record. And the Saints would go on to get a field goal, but Now Ryan is going to look deep, finds Ridley yet again, and the man's just going to start marching it in. And finally, he's off to the races to make sure he gets it into the end zone for a 75-yard touchdown there. Falcons trailing close going into halftime, but they come out in the second half. Ryan not able to find anyone. He's going to move a little to the left, finds Ridley for a 9-yard TD. The man's been waiting for him in the end zone all day. That was their third connection of the day. Falcons lead 21-16. And now Breeze is going to throw one over to Cameron Meredith. That's a touchdown for the Saints. The Saints back on top, 23-21. Now Ryan to Tevin Coleman. He's going to make a great play. Makes it into the end zone for the touchdown. Former Indiana Hoosier, my alma mater. Love to see it. Love to see it. The Falcons leading 29-23. Saints not done yet. Make it into the end zone with the 1-yard TD. They take the lead again. Something to be excited about. Now Ryan rolls right and throws Mohamed Sanu for the TD. 2-point conversion would be good in under 2 minutes to go. We'll see Breeze. He's going to try to find his way out running, but Falcons defense on him. He's going to, with the spin move, dive into the end zone for the TD. Ties it up at 37 now into overtime after a drive down the field. Breeze dives in again. It's going to be the game-winning touchdown. Saints get the road rivalry win 43-37 this afternoon. The Rebels picking up a much-needed home win at home yesterday. Ole Miss now with a 3-1 record post-Kent State win. Hear about changes the Rebels have been making that helped grab the W. We'll have that next in sports. Matt Luke and the Ole Miss Rebels made one thing clear going into this past week's game. They were not going to let Alabama beat them twice. After plenty of interruptions due to weather, it took a little bit of time until we saw the Rebels get up to speed in the second half. But they were able to show the expected Rebel offense, and then later the Landshark defense is where we've seen some holes this season, but it was something that looked more clean during yesterday's 38-17 win.
I do think they just came out. We were clicking in the second half. I just thought it looked like it was supposed to look. The run game, the RPOs, the protection, everything was there. So really pleased that we were able to get it back on track, and the defense kept us in the game until we could get on track. So I think it was a team win.
We had some guys that's kind of banged up, and it's the nature of the game. And we always talk about quality depth and coaching for depth. And, it was a perfect opportunity to play those guys, to get them some time on task, to get them in the game, get them flowing. And while we had some guys that was limited, and it worked out that they were very productive.
Although the defense looked to be clicking better in that game, the offense in the first half wasn't what we've been used to. Specifically, Jordan Ta'amu looked to be a little bit rusty in that first half. But Ta'amu was roughed up a little bit on the field in the first. But what really sparked the second half offense was, he said, something else.
His shoulder was bothering him a little bit, but it never got to the point where he felt like I can't throw. So I thought he handled it really well in the second half. He made really good decisions, and to me, he looked really comfortable in the second half.
It's good. It's just a little banged up. Yeah. Actually, kind of fell on it. I just had to stretch it out and see if I could throw on the sideline, and it was just kind of sore, but it just kind of felt better as the game went on. It was just a rainbow throw from a bottle rocket throw. A rainbow throw, I need to put a little bit more air. A rainbow throw is kind of a line drive type of deal. So bottle rocket is kind of like a rainbow that drops underneath where the receivers can get it. So I think that made a big difference in the second half, where I kind of just adjusted my throw.
Ole Miss still not in the top 25, but the AP College Football rankings for Week 5 did come out earlier today. To no surprise, who do we have still at number 1? Well, it's the Crimson Tide yet again. I think it will take a while before we don't see them anymore in that spot, but we did see some changes that maybe we weren't expecting to see quite as much. After losing the SEC opener, MSU dropped from 14 down to 23. Definitely not where we were expecting to see them, but that's going to be it for sports. We'll have your last look after the break. Stick with us.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, this is something you don't see every day. This rare two-headed copperhead snake was found in a backyard in Woodbridge, Virginia. The Virginia Wildlife Management and Control posted videos and pictures of the snake, or snake should we say, on social media. The snake is currently being cared for by a private viper breeder, tongueful. According to the Virginia Department of Game and Inland Fisheries, National Geographic says two-headed snakes are rare and typically develop the same way as Siamese twins.